ask you is, what do you think for future business leaders of America, what do you think CEOs say is one of the most important characteristics of the leaders of tomorrow? What do you think that would be? Let's say we got CEOs from businesses all over, because they do this every year. IBM does a CEO stand asking several key questions. What do you think the CEOs say is the most critical skill a future leader should have? Leading ability. Okay, I saw a hand back here. Honesty. Good one. We're good under pressure. What else?
Outside the box thinking.
Ooh, you really hit close. Outside the box thinking. Come on in, ladies, and just grab a seat where there's a handout. Anybody else? Being open-minded? You hit it on the nail. Creativity. Thinking out of the box, creativity. Now, all the other things you said are important. The honesty, the working under pressure, all of those things. But creativity, let me read to you what they said in the most recent report. Now, this is from CEOs. Creativity is the most important leadership quality, according to CEOs. To succeed, they take more calculated risks. Now, there's that word I'm going to really practice with you today. I'm going to ask you to risk. Oh my gosh, you're shaking in your boots. But you need to learn to take calculated risks, find new ideas, keep innovating to how they lead, and here's another key word, communicate. Communicate. So I'm going to ask you to do something right now to prove that you would like to be a good future leader. I'm going to ask you to risk. Right up front. How many of you know someone in this room? How many of you are seated next to that person? Okay, then everybody's going to have to get up for a second, because I'm going to ask you to risk. Listen, if you go to someone you already know, you're not going to get what you need to get out of the session. Plus, you've not learned anything new, okay? So for this session, you're going to go just find somebody, just look around, I'm going to give you about 2 minutes, and just say, you know what I liked best about the last night's session? That's all you're going to do. You're going to introduce yourself and say, yeah, what I liked best was, then you're going to go back and sit at your seat. Now there will be another time you'll talk to that person briefly. Are you ready to risk meeting somebody new? Such a key leadership quality. Get on your mark. I've got a timer, 2 minutes, go. But the people in the room know. So tell me what it was. Tell me just what was really great about last night. What are the takeaways? What are you starting this morning with that you remember to take away from last night? Yeah. Okay. A comedian came in to motivate you. Good. Be open to new things. Right on the track we're on. Risking. Good, good, good. I'm just going to see how you were set up because I couldn't be here last night. What else? What else do you remember from last night? Key concept, key idea. You learned how to rap? Really? That's exciting. Okay. Did you actually then turn and rap to each other? How fun. That's fun. What else? Okay, with the rest of you there. Yes?
Teamwork.
Teamwork? What about teamwork? That's when you rap together? Very good. Okay, do you think we've gotten off to a pretty good start? Would you say things have gotten off to a pretty good start? Good. Because what we want to go forward with is a couple of setup things. You're going to have to trust me. Because you see the green handout there? There's a couple of things I want you to write on it, because then after we talk, we're going to come back to that, and that's where your aha is going to come from. But if you have a blank page, you won't get any aha. So look on the side of the paper that looks the most blank. Are you guys sitting where there's a handout that just came in? Move up, please, and sit where there's a handout. Thank you. Okay. On the back of the sheet, well, on one side of the sheet that looks mostly blank, it says, my main job right now is finishing high school. Would you agree that if you were going to have a job, that's your job right now? I mean, you may have a part-time job too or whatever, but your main job is finishing high school. The most frequent skills, talents I use on a daily basis this semester. Now think about this semester. Because when you're in school, it changes. In the fall semester, there are things that happen that don't happen in the spring semester, and it depends on what your course load is. But think about those things, and think about what skills and talents you are using this semester in and outside of school, the ones that make up most of your day. So, for example, on a daily basis, if you're in a sport, for example, then you're on a daily basis, you're playing sports, you're working out, things that you're doing. In the school day, I'm going to guess all of you would say taking tests. Maybe more, I don't know when the standardized tests are, they seem to happen fall and spring, but there are regular tests, standardized tests. Some of you are in a class that's requiring you to give presentations a lot. Some of you are in a class that's requiring you to do a lot of research. Some of you are in math. So just list about 6 to 8 things that right now, this semester, you're having to do over and over on a daily basis. I'll give you about 2 minutes. Go. And do not look at another person's paper. Yes? I sure don't. One of the things you need to learn as a leader is always bring something to write with. There's always a reason. I don't know why, but there is. Anybody have one they'll share maybe with you? About 6 or 8. Huh? Do you have an extra?
Yes.
Aren't you a sweetheart? Now see, there's a guy ready to help a fellow leader. Good for you.
Thank you.
You be sure you get that. 6 to 8. And it might be things like reading, maybe have a lot of reading. Maybe you're on the prom committee, so you have a lot of committee meetings right now. Maybe work after school. You're obviously attending an FBLA major event. Some of you, one of your main things might be getting your driver's license, practicing driving. Wishful thinking, maybe. Okay, now just forget about that for a minute. Turn the sheet over. We'll look on the other side later. We'll come back to that later. I always like to begin a session to sort of bring our minds together, particularly because we're talking about something very important. Now, I found this saying years and years ago, and I've been a corporate speaker for a long time, so I've used it in every country I've given a speech in, to tell you the truth, to start a session. Now is the beginning of a new day. God has given me this day to use as I will. I can waste it or use it for good. But what I do today is important because I'm exchanging a day of my life for it. Will we ever get this day back? Will we ever be like this in this group again? No, so grab it. When tomorrow comes, this day will be gone forever, leaving in its place something I've traded for it. I want it to be gained, not loss, good, not evil, success, not failure, in order that I shall not regret the price that I have paid for it. And what's the price we're both paying right now? Yeah, strength and our time, right? So let's make it worthwhile. So as we go along, if you have a question, if you have a comment, this is the moment, I can be stopped because I want to be sure you understand the leadership essence we have to get to here. See, leaders have to see more. Your fellow classmates, you need to see more than they do, more of the big picture. Need to see more, further out, have a vision. And that vision always comes with passion, and we're going to talk about that. That's the spark. But without a vision, you're not going to be a very successful leader. And leaders also see it before. They see it before. I don't know if you've had a chance to talk to Riley Morrison, the president this year. But when I met Riley several months ago, he said, one of the first things he said to me is, I was in a theater department, and the first thing he said to me was, well, I'm going to be president. That's somebody with a vision very clear, and he's never wavered from it. Now, there are other people that have done this thing. Some of you know that specifically. But you see it before it happens. What we've got to figure out is, what's the spark that will keep that alive, and what will keep you from getting talked out of it? Successful people have a vision. They know where they're going. If I tell you right now, and you've never been there before, that I want you to drive to Calgary, Canada, Ontario, I want you to drive there and find the Hyatt, but I'm not going to give you a map. How easy is that going to